Okay, I'm not really sure how far I'm going to get in this tutorial, but right now my idea is that we're going to get to a point in the game where we can ask the user to enter their name. They will enter it, and then it will say something along the lines of hi, whatever name they entered. So, the first thing that I want to do is create another array list, and then this one's also going to be characters, and this one's going to be pending input, and one more, public array list character drawable input. And now down here we're going to change this to drawable input, and we're just going to be adding either of these on from either pending input, which is what our game is going to be entering, or user input, what our user enters, and we're just going to add those into drawable input. And then we're going to have a public boolean accepting user input, and to start off that is going to be false. And we want to set that to false after running. So we might as well do it in this init method. Okay. And then all of this needs to be inside of an if statement. So if accepting user input, and now we should not be able to enter. Okay, there's a bug. Oh, we never initialized it, of course. Okay. Drawable input equals new array list character, and then pending input equals new array list character, and then we can run this, and we cannot enter text. Okay, a new class, and I'm gonna, it's not in the right package. I'm gonna right click on here, new class, and I'm gonna make a new package .game. I'm gonna call it starting, and then public void starting text, and public void start. Now what we're going to do is private starting start, and we have to import starting because it is in a different package. I just did Control-Shift-O, and you can see it imported starting, and then public void tick. And before all of this, we're going to call tick every time. And then I'm going to make another boolean called started, which is going to be false. And then if not started, start.start. And I don't think we ever initialized start. There we go. And let's make a new class, and we'll call it player. And this is where we're going to store all the variables that we need for the player. So first thing we're going to do is public, and then we're going to make the constructor require their name. And public string name. And we're going to make another method. Sorry if I'm jumping around a bit, I'm just trying to think of everything that we're going to need for this, and as I think of more, I'm just adding it in. Public string get user input as string, and then string s equals that, and we're going to return s, and then for user input dot for character C user input S plus equals C, and that will return whatever the user has inputted as a string. And we're going to do another thing, public void handle enter, and then we're going to just call handle enter from there instead. And we need to make it a boolean. Return false. And then if text draw dot hand enter pressed return true, and the reason we have to do that is because that's how we get rid of the screen if the screen's full of text. And public void clear input is going to user input dot clear. Okay. Public player public void start, public void add text, and that is going to require a string s for character C s dot to char array pending oh, this is in the wrong file. Wrong file. Sorry, this is supposed to be in main class. Pending input.add C. Okay, now in our tick method, which is right here. Private int tick count. And no. Pend count. And the way this is going to work is we're going to be adding to pending count each time. Pending count equals 0. And then we're going to be adding to pending count each time it ticks, and then you may have to play around with this number a bit to find what number you like, but if pending count is greater than or equal to, I'm just going to try 8. Pending count equals 0. User, or no. Drawable input dot add character E, which is going to be pending input dot index of dot get 0, and then pending input dot remove 0. And the point of this is basically whenever we have something to draw to the screen, it's just going to be added into this, then every tick this is going to add up, and whenever it reaches 8, it's going to take the first thing off of our pending input and put it into our drawable input. And just to see how this is going to work, we're going to make this require a main class. Public starting main class MC. Public main class MC. And you have to import that because it's in a different package. And what we can do here is this. Okay? This dot MC equals MC. Now in start, we're going to call starting text. And in starting text, we're going to do MC dot add text. Welcome to our text-based game. And now if we run this, it just keeps repeating itself. And that is because I never set started to true. And I'm going to change this to 20 instead because that was pretty fast. Okay. Let's try 15. And that error is because what we're going to do is it tried to access it when there was nothing left in pending input. So the way to fix this is if not pending input is empty. And you will see that that fixes that bug. Let's try 18. You can change this number to whatever you want. Okay. And then I'm going to do public void next line. And what's that going to do? That's what that is going to do is it's going to do pending input add one of those, which we learned earlier represents the new line. So now all we need to do is mc.new next line mc.add add text, please enter your name. MC.next line. And then MC dot accepting user input equals true. Okay. And you can see that that did exactly what it wanted it to, and now we still can't type, which I'm going to look at. Oh, right. User input isn't being added in. So, the way you're going to deal with this is we are simply going to do pending input dot add e dot get key care. And the only problem with this is going to be backspace. Let's just see how that runs. Hi, my name is, and you can see backspace isn't actually working anymore. So I think, I don't know, this is rather tough to do, but because the problem is I don't want them to be able to go back and erase previous text, but at the same time I want to be able to erase if you've made a mistake. And I don't want to just be drawing user input on there either. Because then when you add more stuff to Drawable input, it would just push the user input forward. But as you can see, we have that so far. I'm gonna sort out this whole backspace problem later, and I'm just gonna do this temporary fix. And then what we're gonna do is in our handle enter, what we're going to do is I know what to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a new Java class. I'm going to put this in the .game package, and what it's going to be is class, no, game base. And basically anything that, and we're going to make this an abstract class. I'm pretty sure I've gone over this before, but if not, then I'm doing it now. And basically everything that's going to be drawing text on the screen is going to need to extend game base just to make this easier. Okay. And then we're just going to extend game base. And then we're going to do super MC. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a abstract void, which means anything that extends it has to use this method. Abstract void handle enter. I forgot, you just leave a semicolon there. And now over here we have an error because we don't do that. So public void handle enter. And that's going to make that easier. And I'm going to change this to game base current and import that. And we're not going to initialize that. Instead we're going to do if not started. We're going to do current equals new starting this current dot start. And actually no, I'm just gonna call the start method from here. There we go. And now yes, it runs exactly the same as before. But now what we can do is change this to a Boolean. Actually, no. Okay. Void. Okay. And in main class at handle enter, what we're going to do is current dot enter handle enter. Okay, yeah. And then I have an idea on how to fix that thing with backspace, but I'm going to do that later. I just want to get this working for now. So what we're going to do is handle enter. We're going to do get player name, or actually we're just going to call that create player. Public void create player. And we're going to do mc.accepting user input equals false. And then string name equals mc.get user input as string. Player equals new player name. What is this get name method over here? Get name. It's not in here, so I guess it must come from Canvas. So we're just not going to worry about that. And then we're going to do mc.clear input. And we're going to do mc.next line and mc.add text. Welcome, or hello, plus player.name. Now, if I did all of this right, it should welcome to our text-based game. Please enter your name, Bob. hello Bob. And you can see that works perfectly. And that is going to be the end of this. I'm just going to go over and explain this a little bit more. Basically what we did is we created a way to draw text onto the screen, and then we told it, actually let me see something. Okay, cool. So even if you do try to type before that finishes, it'll add it on after, which I think is pretty cool. Oh, it's just because, yeah, that makes sense. There's a point where you could type so fast that it wouldn't catch up, but that's ridiculous. And you can see it works however long you feel like entering your name. But yeah, so that's going to be the end of this video. If you didn't understand part of it, then leave a comment about that, and I'll explain it better in the next video. If you have suggestions for what you want me to cover in the next video, since now it's getting to a bit broader area, or if there's something not related to this text-based game that you would like me to cover in a different tutorial, also leave a comment about that and I'll consider it. If you like this video, like it. If you want to see more of this, if you want to follow this whole tutorial through, subscribe to my channel. I am going to be gone for the next few days, but after that I should be back and I should be able to do a bit more. Thanks for watching.